Hello everyone, it's Life Knight, and today I am releasing the Combat Analysis mod. Essentially, it's a mod that analyzes or reports statistics on your combat, so I think it's pretty useful, so that's why I created it. So to get started, you want to do /combat analysis, or you can type /CA for short, and you'll be presented with this GUI. So basically, combat analysis, you have these buttons on the side, which will just navigate you to like specific sections of the settings. So you have the mod, which just enables or disables the mod. You have grid snapping, which will, allow you to grid snap, when you edit your HUD. You have the HUD text shadow, which will allow you to have like a shadow for your text. Then you have the text box, which will give you like a box around your text, of course. You have the HUD text box opacity, so if you want to change it, it's at 70 by default. You also have the chroma speed, which you can set. At default, it's at 25, I think. You have show status, which basically is like show like the numbers and stuff on your screen. You have automatic sessions, which will just like start a session automatically and end it automatically. You have all these different settings, which I'll get into later. You have auto log sessions, so when you like leave the game and come back, you'll still have those sessions, so you'll be able to view them. You have your main hotbar slot, which will just essentially like what's your hotbar slot. Your main hotbar slot. This will be used for like deciding if you've done like a hotkey. And you have debug, which will just report to like things in chat, like how far you were hit from. You have the default HUD text scale, which will just change the scale of all the HUD text when you go into edit HUD. And then you have the default separator. This is just for HUD text, so I'll just show you that right now. So you have edit HUD. Because I have the border on, you can see there's stuff like behind it. If I didn't have the border on, it would just be text. So you have these buttons which control like if it's seen or not. So you can say shown or hidden. If it's shown, obviously you're going to be able to see it. The separator, this is what separates it. So you have different options there. I keep it at this. You have the prefix color, which is just this. This chroma too. That's what I used. You have white. You have the content color, so if you want to change that, many different options there. And you have your alignment, so if I wanted it to like stay on the right, and if like the size of it increases, it'll just go as far to the right as possible without going off the screen. Then I would have it on right. You can also have like center, so if I wanted it to be in the middle and then not move at all, I would have it on center. Yeah. So I will show you how I would configure this. So I go back into combat analysis. I would increase the HUD text scale to like 109%. Then I would go here, set it to chroma. And then I'd go back into edit HUD, and you can see it's larger now, and all of them have like chroma. So then I keep it, well, here I'll just set it right now. So I have the accuracy in the top right in this order. And then hit stealth up here, well, left. And then arrows taken here. And then I'd have CPS over here on the right. Oops. And can hit opponent on the right as well. So that's just how I have it configured. And then if you click reset, it'll obviously reset. So, okay. Yeah, let me go into a match now so we can see it in action. So obviously the automatic sessions was on, so I didn't have to press anything to start it. It just started automatically, and it ended automatically. So I'll get to the end requirements now. So if I do /combat analysis again, I can go to end for all end requirements. So even if I have these off, it'll still end for these. So now I'll explain these, of course. So end on game end, basically, if you get sent to a new world or you get teleported super far away, then it will end automatically. And then end on spectator, if you lose enough items or you go invisible, or if you start flying, then it'll end. So that's essentially what that is. If you're like in a Skywars game, then I would just have end on game end and end on spectator. And then if you were like in a Bed Wars game, I would just have end on game end. Because you die and then you respawn. So yeah, and then obviously there must be a way to start it manually. So if you go over here, you can go to combat analysis. To open the latest combat session, you press L, and to toggle a combat session, you press right bracket. So if I press right bracket now, you can see it turns on and you have all these things on the screen. And then if I hit it again, it'll turn off. Alright, so now let me show you the combat session itself. Alright, so I'm on a super flat world right now. It doesn't really matter where you are. You can do this in like a server too. But if I press L, it'll open my latest combat session. So as you can see, here it is. My opponent was Xjasa. So let me go over everything here. So you have the details, which just gives you basic information like the server, the date, how long it lasted, and what the title was in the scoreboard. So if you want to search by that, you can search it in the filter. You have the version that it was done in as well. So if I update it, I'll be able to tell like if it has certain things. It isn't really necessary to have for you to see, but it's necessary for me to see if I update it. Okay, so you have the properties, 1, and then available. So if you click available, you can set it like to deleted or available, of course. So if you're like searching for it in the filter, or if you don't want to see it, just click delete, make it deleted. You have like properties 1. Basically, I can't really tell if you've won because certain servers do different things. So I want it to be compatible on all servers. So you can set it yourself, but it'll default to if you got like an equal to or greater than amount of hits than your opponent. So if you want to change it, just press L and then click it. Alright, so you have overall stats, your starting health, your ending health. So I guess the ending health is really only appropriate if you've won and you didn't regenerate after. You have the left clicks, right clicks, average clicks per second. Mine was 11 in that case. You have your melee accuracy, 52.3%, not that bad. Arrow accuracy, not available since I didn't shoot anything. You have the projectile accuracy, which is 100%. You have the melee hits taken 4, projectiles taken 7. Projectiles are basically like when I was rotted or a snowball or egg was thrown at me. You can also use the scroll bar to scroll up and down. You have the potion effects. Basically, these are like the potion effects you had. So since I ate a golden apple when it started, this is basically how far into the combat session you were when you got that potion effect. So if you get the potion effect before it starts, then it'll like go as soon as possible. So in this case, it's 0.002. And then this is how long it lasted at that specific time. Then you have your hotkeys, basically just how fast you were when it comes to like hotkeying. As you can see, I was at like 250 milliseconds. I usually get like 150 milliseconds for like lava buckets and stuff. It's pretty useful if you just want to know how fast you are hotkeying. Then you have your armor. That basically just tells you like what armor you had and the durability, how it went down. You also have your inventory, all of the items in your inventory, and their change in durability, or if you got new items, or if you just lost them completely. You have your opponents. So I only had one opponent, which was Xjasa in this case. So melee hits. That's how many they got on me. Critical hit stealth time shot 0 because I didn't shoot them at all. Projectile hits, how many times I hit them with a rod in this case. Melee accuracy for that player 52.3%. There's the only player, so it's the same here. Melee hits taken. I took 4 hits from them. Critical hits. Critical hits taken 4. Shots taken 0. This was 0. Projectiles taken 0. Basic stuff. You have Xjasa's armor, which was just this. And then you have the combos that I got on them. So that's pretty much that. There aren't really any other things. If you have more opponents, of course, you'll see more people here. This was a fight I had before, which I lost, so I'll change that. Yeah, so I'll do some more combat sessions, so I can show you the filter and more features and stuff. Okay, so I've played some Skywars games, a Bed Wars game. Oh, So now if I press L, as you can see, it's more data. So I wouldn't say it's like works so well for like Bed Wars and stuff. But as you can see, you still have opponents and stuff. Armor. As you can see, I bought iron armor, so it moved forward. I lost this game, so I guess you would just say lost, because it's a Bed Wars game. For this, I won this Sky Wars game. I lost this one, though. As you can see, there are quite a few opponents, and they all have their own details. I'll probably end up removing these because I'm pretty sure they're just very inaccurate. I don't even think I'm recording that data. So pretty sure I also lost this one. Yeah, I'd recommend, like, as soon as you finish the game that you change it, because there's no real way for me to know. Also, you can search in this, so if I search for like "Oh Mohammed," then it'll show things that have the title "Oh Mohammed" or Mekki. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so you also have the filter, which will allow you to filter through combat sessions. You can go through. It shows the results found. I don't have anything deleted, so it's gonna say 0, obviously. 1/lost. You can choose between those. You can say during or like between a certain date. If I say like after tomorrow, then it's gonna say nothing. So it can be like on this day too. So you can go back to during. You can search for opponents. If I search for like "Oh Mohammed," then it'll only show 1. If I go for servers, I can go for like NA dot. I've only been on NA dot servers, so if I go to like Mine Men Club, it'll only show once for Mine Men Club if I just type club. Yeah, you can also search for like Sky Wars, because it looks in like in this right here. So that's why it's called alternate server. So if I want to go to Sky Wars games, I can just search Sky Wars, or if I want to go to Bed Wars games, the space doesn't matter or any punctuation. You also have the types, so like it can auto detect types. If I type in UHC, it'll go for the ones that have been detected as UHC. I can't speak. So if I type in UHC and I click go, it'll only show ones that have UHC. Oh, I think I removed that. I'll add that. It's supposed to say like detected type UHC. Yeah. There's also the unknown type if you want to search for that for some reason. And if you want to search for like multiple people, let's say I want to search for "Oh Mohammed" and Mekki, I can just type "Oh Mohammed" and then I would just type in the second name separated by a comma separated values. So if I want to search for like Hypixel and Mine Men Club, then I'll only get ones from Mine Men Club and Hypixel. Or if I want to search for like Bed Wars and Sky Wars, then I can just search for ones for the Bed Wars and Sky Wars like that. It's pretty simple. So that's pretty much the essence of the mod. I'll just play some games and do a bit of talking for like other stuff regarding the mod. Okay, so first thing I want to address, is this a hacked client? I would say, or is it an unfair advantage? I would say no, because it just reports details or statistics on what actually happened. So it doesn't really give you an advantage per se, because you can do this like manually. The only thing I'd say is cheaty is basically the can hit opponent. I'm gonna remove that because I was thinking about making it so you can only check if like I can see the player, but that just seems complicated. So I'm just gonna remove it entirely, so you won't be able to see this. You won't have that when I release this mod. What else? That's pretty much that. I also wanted to address, like, am I going to make this in 1.7? Probably not, because 1.7 is extremely deprecated and old. So it's like, it's not much support for it, I guess. I can't even code with the Gradle version it uses in IntelliJ IDEA. So that's an automatic downside. What else? But maybe if I figure out how to do it. recently I've been thinking about making plugins, so I might be spending time on that instead. Alright, so next area that I want to talk about, accuracy. The accuracy of the mod is 100% going to decrease if the server is lagging or you are lagging. It works on a timer-based system, so if you send an attack packet like to a player, basically it'll wait for that player to take damage before recognizing it as you attacking that player, because the server doesn't give me information on the server doesn't give the client information on what actually happened to make that person take damage. It just says generic, and you can't really take much from that. So I have to assume what hit you or what you hit, or if you hit somebody. It's a pretty reliable system when it comes to like a one-on-one system, like one-on-one and reliable connection. But as more players are added or their connection worsens, it doesn't do so well. And also for the detection system, I had to look to see if like something is within range of a player, and then if it is, then I set something to true, and then I wait to see if they take damage, and if it take damage within that time frame, then I decide that it was that hit them. So yeah, it's like this. It's a similar system. It works well in one-on-one and low lag system, but it stops working when lag is added to the equation. There are lots of players, and I also had to worry about teams, and then I can't rely on like the server's teams because I tested it on Mineclub and it did not work when I did that. So, but you know, thanks to Willeride, I got a new, you can place blocks in here? What? But thanks to Willeride, I found a new way of like determining if a player is on. I forgot what it was. Oh, because I was like getting problems with like Watchdog getting in your way on Hypixel. So Willeride gave me the wonderful idea of just checking to see if the player is in your tab list, or yeah. And that also reminds me, I wanted to thank my beta testers. I never went to mod options and then went to, what is it? Oh, that's not fun. Come on, man. Come on. You don't have to. As I was saying, oh, it's hill areas again. As I was saying, oh, I never went to mod options and then clicked. What is it? Combat analysis. A nice logo. I kind of wish the swords were closer though. I made it so I can change. Okay, so beta testers, me, Fiza, the Lemonade, and Willeride. You know, lag would have been here, but of course he didn't download the mod. So, and then you have the URL. This will bring you to like a thing with information on the mod. Analyze as provide statistics on your combat. So if you click this link, I'll show it on screen now. It just tells you about the mod and what things do in it. And finally, if you have any suggestions for the mod, of course, be sure to leave them in the comments. You can also put them like in my Discord server if you join there. I talk to people there. It's probably the best way to get in contact with me. You can't friend me though on Discord. You're gonna have to message the chat. The general. As you can see, I'm just wonderful at this game, you know. Just absolutely wonderful. Oh, also, let me enable debug. Okay, so now in chat, you'll see basically how far your opponent was from you when you took damage. And I'll just say this here, just because it's like greater than 3 doesn't mean they're cheating. 1. I mean, even if it's like 4, it doesn't mean they're cheating, especially when it comes to server lag and then how fast they're moving. And in this, it'll probably say like numbers way above 3, because of how much speed you have. I forgot to change this so that it ends properly. But yeah, it'll give you numbers that are pretty high. But it doesn't mean they're cheating. It's just like, I mean, it's debug. It really just tells you what the mod thinks who hit you, and also how far the person was from you when you took damage. It's just, I mean, I kind of added out of curiosity because I'm like, why I can't even hit these people? How far are they away from me? So, yeah. I didn't combat log. I just didn't feel like playing anymore. Just wanted to mention, this is my biggest mod ever. I probably spent like at least 100 hours coding it. Well, according to Waka Time, at least. And I don't really know what that was. I'm not gonna answer that question. I can't read chat, man. I can't. Physically impossible. These particles are making me lag. Oh my gosh. Oh, antigen night. Is that what I am now, an antigen? Stop it! You're bow spamming. Are you freaking mask wearer? Were you Democrat? Oh, you're not wearing a mask. Alright, bloggers. I'm losing so bad. Oh. Footgite. Footgite. You just wanna go on Tapple.world? I love percentage health. It's probably the best thing that could happen, like in the world. If there was a greatest thing, I'm sure it must be like okay, buddy. Alright, buddy. So you're just gonna cheat away. Chicalander's so cold, okay? I can't even jitter click 20 CPS. What? That better have been a rod. Whoop. Yeah, it was, I think. Hopefully. It's a wonderful name you've got. Join my Discord server for beta releases, maybe. Thank you, Shipping Knight. I do agree. Defecation Knight. Now I get a solid 7 equals 9.